Chainmail. I'm your host, the Abbot of Aspect Ratios, and I run MailleWerX.com, where you can find all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. Thank you for joining us tonight. Got lots to do, a lot of work. Don't know what we're doing yet. Haven't figured that part out. But I think we're gonna, let's see if Frank's working. Actually, let's check the microphone. Probably should have done that before we got started. Frank, are you alive? Yeah, okay. Frank's looking good. Okay. Let's do the stream here, or share the stream. Share, right post. There we go. All right. This over here. Okay. All right, we're ready to go. So first up, I've done some housekeeping today. Where's Frank at? Push all this shit aside. Okay, this is a bag full of bags that are full of center beads and then 2 sets of side beads. I'll give you an example, right? Similar to the bracelet that I'm wearing. Actually, let's pull out a different one. What's this one? Okay. Hey Rick, how you doing? It's good to see you too. Oh my goodness. Alright. There we go. So it's a bag full of bags that have partially started projects in them. In a way to organize what was going on. These, man, okay. Well, you can't see how cool this skull is, but it's really cool. It's highly detailed. You need a bag of bags? Alright, so these are all the components of the bracelet, right? I got them. Got a bunch of them loaded up into kits, essentially ready to go. So that way, when I have a ring order coming, and that will get me kind of organized. I just need to make the bracelet portion of it, right? So I got that kind of cleaned up off the desk. Here is, hang on. All right. Here is another bag, and so these are still the 2 bags that I have to go through and figure out what goes with what well. So there's like some aesthetics playing into it. Trying to figure out what looks best with each thing. Alright, so I gotta do some housekeeping first, and then we will go on to finishing the bracelet from last night. So many bags of goodies, yeah. And I have one more on the way. But it's not, okay, so I placed this order before I placed this order, right? And I'm still waiting on that one to come in, if that makes any sense. it's largely just clasps. So what I had done, I had gotten ahead of myself, and I had put together a few bracelets before ordering the end pieces, right? So I just had the center focal piece, right? But there's, how many? There's 4 more findings on each. Like, take my bracelet, for example. Right, there are 5, sorry about the massive amounts of noise. There are 5 findings on here. Okay? 2 spade skulls, 2 spacer beads, and then a center focal piece. Right? So I needed to figure out... I'm sorry, I needed to undo some of the work that I had done. And I only had a couple of them done. Let's see here, 4 or 5. Take a little bit of this stuff off. And I'm kind of getting a pattern down. I'm kind of getting the ring size I'm using down. I'm pretty happy with the way this whole project is turning out. The only thing, I'm waiting on some more rings to come in. And I did order some more today for this particular project. So I should be able to get the bulk of those 2 bags of goodies done. I've got 2 offers. Oh, come on, what is going on here? Jeez Louise. Grab the ring, dude. There you go. 2 offers from people looking to buy, which is always nice. It's like, this was an expensive venture, right? Like, yeah, you know, these look great. I can use these with some chainmail. And people will like it, right? I think. I hope. So we're going to leave about that much on there. Okay, and we'll probably do this, right? This is what we were working on last night. And actually, let's just do that right now. The bracelet with the findings is sick. Yeah, I think so. And so I took, this one is completely different set of my camera sucks so much. Little X marks the spot bead, a center skull, another X marks the spot, and then another skull right there. You can there kind of see it in that light, right? So I think we'll do this. But I've got 2 people saying they want to purchase one of these bracelets. Oh, man, what is going on with my pliers tonight? Something happened? Oh, they look fine. All right. And this one, I'm going to use this as the example for the raffle coming up. Okay. So if any of you don't know, my childhood friend's father is in the hospital right now. And they've got some pretty intensive medical expenses coming up, and we're going to give away, or we're going to do a raffle for one of these bracelets, and then a hooded blanket from the MailleWerX store, right? I think this is going to be the bracelet that we're going to use. So it's an expensive venture, right? So what is expensive? Okay, then. Ow. None of my pliers are working. What's going on? This bag of clasps and findings. This bag of findings. And that bag of findings was all pretty expensive. And then I have one more on the way, and then I had to order I've been trying to figure out which ring size works best, because they're not all the same size, right? So some of them are going to require 20 gauge 1/8 rings. Some of them are going to require 19 gauge 1/28 rings. The bulk of the bracelet is 18 gauge 3/16, so I had to order some more of those. And some of the ring sizes are very, like 19 gauge 1/28, 19 gauge 19 1/28 of an inch is a very special ring size, and I only know of 1 or 2 people who make that ring size. So it's a specialty ring size that works really well with these. So those were expensive. It just adds up, right, to get all this done. That's all. But, you know, hopefully the return on my money will be 4 or 5-fold, I think. Like I said, I've already got 2 people lined up, which is nice. It's always nice to see like early interest in something you're doing. All right. And there it is. That's the one we started 2 nights ago. Let's see here. What does this measure? It's 8 3/8 of an inch or so. 8.5. 8.5 inches. That's pretty good. That's a good size, right? I think the average wrist size is like 7 1/4, so a little more than that. And we can always take a little bit away from the ends of the chains here. But this will go towards the raffle. Man, God, this camera sucks. Why does this camera suck so bad? All right, little skull. Little X marks the spot. Big skull. X marks the spot. Little skull. So we're gonna raffle this one away, and the raffle is for my friend's father, who I grew up with, to cover some of their medical expenses after being in the hospital for several days. I will post the raffle and then like the links to the GoFundMe that they posted in the comments, just to give people an idea of what money is being raised for. And then I'm going to give away that bracelet or one similar, and a hooded blanket from MailleWerX.com. All right. Now I have this pile of Byzantine sections. Like, I had ordered a bunch of these buckle clasps, right? And started making bracelets like way too early. You know, before I even had everything I needed. And then once I got all the pieces, I was like, oh, I have to take this all apart. So let's do that real quick. And then we'll move on to, I don't know what. I've got a coif I attempted to make out of 18 gauge 3/16 square wire, but the Ring Lord changed their rings. Hey Kevin, how you doing, buddy? The Ring Lord changed up their rings just a little bit, enough for me to not grab the wrong one. Enough for me to not be able to order that particular ring style from them. So I've got that, but we just did an attempted coif and turned it into a dice bag, and so I don't want to do that like again. But at the end of the last dice bag, I realized that I really could have taken the rings that I had and made some juggling balls out of them. And so I think we're gonna make some Trinity juggling balls. It's cold over here, Kevin. It's getting really cold. The moisture in the air is ridiculous. I tried hanging out outside for a bit, and that's just not, it's just not going to happen. Fall has come. It's time to layer up. Alright, we got 2 more of these to do, and then we'll figure out something else. Right. This is just housekeeping stuff. I got through the bulk of the mess on my desk today. I feel pretty proud of that. Then I was listening to an interview. There was, her name is Yeonmi Park. You were in the pool today? You'd absolutely buy a sexy female coif. Is there a way to differentiate a male and female coif? Is that... is that a thing? Like, you say female coif, and I'm just like, a coif is a coif. How would you differentiate a male and female coif? I guess is what I'm asking. Absolutely, by head size. I don't know. I've been around the world, and I met some women with some pretty big heads. I don't know if that's enough to convince me. It's like, okay, a male coif would cover the whole head, right? And be an actual piece of protective armor, whereas a female coif would somehow be, I don't know, skimpy? You're trying to behave? Alright, one more, and then I do have some mail to open up today, too. Oh, you know what? Hang on a sec. No, I don't want to level up with premium. Alright, let's get some volume here. Here we go. My apologies. God, imagine having to listen to the sound of my voice for 21 minutes with no music. You guys are tough. Thanks for sticking it out. Jeez Louise. Seed beaded hairstyle lady hair covers. This is Armor Arrow stopping coif. Born armoring cap for the great helm to no chafe. Alright. I mean, there's definitely some stylistic options you can use to delineate between male and female. I had just never thought to attribute, well, no, you know what? Okay. Lisa Ellis, fantastic chainmail artist, goes on Instagram by The Armorer's Wife, I think is her name. She has a dragon scale coif, I think it is. That is, there's no frills or gimmicks with it. It's straight up dragon scale chainmail, and it is definitely feminine. So I think that is an argument for a feminine coif or a female coif. You love her Starry Nights? Yeah, no, that piece is amazing. All right. Do a little cleanup here, and then the one she's working on now, I forget. It's based off an art piece, but it too is amazing. All right, and since John is now here, we can do the mail. All right, I've got a box. Little Girl with a Watering Can by Congo. Yeah. Oh, by Van Gogh. Okay. Wow, dude. Okay. Let's have a look at these. So, our friend John here has sent me some modified pliers so that I can be more adventurous like him. And some of the rings he's made. Alright, is that okay? Look at this. That's the most adorable little bottle I've ever seen. And I love wrapping bottles, okay? That's one of my most favorite things to do. Is take a bottle, liquor bottle, wine bottle, beer bottle, and wrap it in some chainmail. But not like your standard, like, 6-pack bottle. And these are some of John's rings that he makes. Oh, these are good, man. These are all stainless, right? Have I ever done a baby bottle wrap? Not like this. Not like that at all. But I've also never had a bottle that small. The rings in the bottle can do alligator back, 308 stainless. Thank you, John. These are cool. These are very... What brand of pliers are these? Berkeley Pliers? Okay. They're very springy. Alright. I will have to figure out how to use these. Okay. Alright, so alligator back. Let you know the ring strength versus other rings. Sure. Well, let's see here. Let's try one out. What size are these? 16 gauge, 1/4 inch. You were not sure if the springs were too hard. Oh, you mean the springs and the pliers? No, they're... I don't know. So with these big rings, they're kind of... I mean, they close a ring real well. All right. 0.275 inner diameter. You feel like they get better leverage and compared to with my other? Yes. And it's going to be like situational. But there's definitely a lot more torque on these, I think. Than than my other pliers. Like, my hands will take some time to get used to them. Okay. Because they're... Well, let me show you. The handles on these are twice as big as my regular pliers, right? Definitely a better grip on the ring. try a ring I'm used to. Yeah, no, these are... Come on. These are definitely far more grippy than rings I'm used to. Or pliers I'm used to, rather. I like it. I like it a lot. How do they compare for the leverage? Oh, like with my pliers, I'd like them to be about, I don't know, a foot longer than what I have, but it's pretty easy to open and close a ring. You felt like you were fighting the springs? A little bit. You know, maybe they need to be broken in or something. Alright. Tonight's stream sponsored by John Daniel Follansby III. So I'm eyeballing these rings. I'm trying to figure out, like, what do I visually know in my head will work with this ring size? So we're gonna try some elf weave. Isn't this bottle so cute? I love it. John, where did you find this bottle? There's, in the space where the springs are, a magnet will fit instead. Interesting. All right. The Walmart craft aisle. Okay. Nope. Dang it, Bobby. A 6 or 8 pack. Nice. So with elf weave, I find that I always screw up the beginning. Use moth these days to send symbols out. Oh, out to folks. Yeah, no, they're perfect. With elf weave, I find that I usually screw up the first part of it. I think I got it right this time. But as long as I keep weaving... Where are you? There we go. it eventually fixes itself. It's the same way with my half Persian 3-in-1 and 4-in-1. I just keep going until it starts looking right, and then I stop working on the front. I remove the front part of it. But I think I got it right this time. You start elf off on a piece of 4-in-1 strip, yeah. It's like starting full Persian off a box chain, or there we go. I may have to remove these springs because every time I clamp down on a ring, I keep wanting to... I kept dropping the ring, but... Well, thank you very much, John. I do appreciate this. New pliers are always fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. Definitely gonna have to work with these some more to get, like, a feel for how they operate. The springs are not glued in, they just slide in and out of the handle spot. Yeah. But is there enough room to take them out? It'll be alright for the moment. I don't want to, you know, try to tear them apart on stream. We'll figure that out later. Oh, slide them to the side by the jaws and pull in that direction? Okay. You removed them myself thinking to not include them? Oh, no. I'm glad you did. It's because both my pliers, well, my wubbers had springs, right, to start out with, but so maybe some springs would do my hand strength some good, some resistance. Yeah, I might be able to put them in the wubbers. They'll actually replace the pliers, I think. Yeah, let's see. My hand-eye coordination is not great with these jaws. This is going to take a little bit of getting used to. But there's definitely some oomph behind when you're bending a ring. Nice. All right. All right. It's a nice little piece of elf weave got going on. And John, do you pinch cut all your rings and then weld them all? Yeah, because I can't imagine trying to weld all this stuff. All but Whitney's black glass titanium. You're welding everything now. All right. Well, these will certainly make some elf weave. I had to figure out a way to put all this together. And the pinch cut works in the welds, right? Like you and I have discussed that before. I find that very interesting. My hands are gonna have to get used to these pliers. They're very... That spring might be an issue. You hear welding currently watching? That's funny. All right. So, bonus, new pliers. Thank you very much, John. In a tiny little bottle. I love it. Full of rings. That's awesome. Alrighty. Lower sizes, weld just shows as a weld. Higher sizes, stock cut over 20 gauges. Okay. Holy crap, it's been 45 minutes already. All right. So this was, I have a shirt made out of Trinity. It's got long sleeves on it. Trinity is essentially European 3-in-1. Right? And what I should do here, okay. I think we can take this and make three juggling balls out of it, right? It's not good for anything else. I cannot get these rings anymore as far as I am aware. I'm not going to try to get them, so we got to take this piece and transform it into something else, right? I would love to continue on with the coif project. I'm just going to have to buy enough rings to finish an entire coif. Because like the last project, I could not get those rings again, and I've tried to order these again and they were not the same. Like the corners were rounded. These are very sharp square wire rings, so there are 42 rings in a Jap 5-in-2 ball. Oh, well, we're gonna keep it Trinity. I don't want to try and start a new weave, but the question is where to start. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 triangles. And how big? I don't know. I think where I'm going to start is removing the seams. So this is like European 3-in-1. Okay, and the seams are actually European 4-in-1. So it's if you hang this weave up, right, it has a tendency to curl, especially when starting out and when you have a small piece. And it's the most insanely annoying thing you've ever dealt with. But if we start here, take all these little triangles apart. Let's start by doing that. We can figure out how much we have. I'm trying to figure out a way to make some juggling balls out of them. I don't know if anybody's ever made juggling balls out of Trinity. Not, you know, not a hard thing to do. I just don't think anyone's ever done it. Hey Wally, how you doing? You look at that piece and you want to make another Victorian lady? That would be one hell of a huge hoop skirt. What is your Victorian lady? I don't know if I've seen your Victorian lady. Are her ankles covered? Is she modestly dressed? Isn't that the thing about the Victorian era, is everyone was such a horn dog, they had to cover the feet of the furniture because people were getting aroused by them or something? I don't know. Don't know, I wasn't there. Wally's doing good. Yeah, link us to a picture. Share with all of us. And speaking, okay. Since you're here, Peg, and I know you've been here for a minute, but I just wanted to make sure that you understood that I was not trying to alienate you in any way the other night by talking about people who charge for ring size information or tutorials, right? And I don't know if I made that clear last night, right? Like, I want to be sure that I do appreciate people's proprietary information and, you know, believe that they have the right to charge for it. I just want to say that I was speaking more towards people who won't share information on basic common knowledge stuff in order to attempt to be a gatekeeper to prevent someone from learning chainmail. I know you said you felt a little bit weirded out, and I just wanted to be clear that there are things that I think oh, you were just messing about? Okay, good. Good. Okay. Man, messing with my head. Alright. Takes a load off my mind. We'll do... here. I'm going to have to remember... So Trinity is weird, right? You don't try to make a sheet, a strip. You don't try to make a strip out of it, right? You try to make a triangle. And the whole time the triangle is curling up on you, okay? To start it, it's one ring, 2 rings, right? And then one ring, 2 rings, and so on and so forth. It's It's European 3-in-1, essentially. And it has all these really irritating behaviors for a weave. Let go. Alright, one seam undone. Okay? I don't know how well you can see that. But even the end, right? 2 rings. Well, that's not a very good example. Hang on. That ring shouldn't be there. 1 ring, 1 ring. Oh my goodness, it's ridiculous. I'll be angry at whoever came up with this weave for the rest of my life. All right. You had to look it up yourself. Never heard of it, not seen it until today, and now you are intrigued. It's a trip, dude. I have a whole shirt out of this stuff. That's why I was trying to make a coif to match. And it is 100% a pain in the ass. It doesn't lay nice and flat. It's not nice and even. It's not a symmetrical weave. I think if I'm remembering my math correctly, I think the shirt that I have out of this has like 30, no, it's like 20,000 rings. I sat there, and I mean, it's a long-sleeved chainmail shirt. It's not. It is easily my best shirt, and it's got a lot of seams in it and stuff. Right? It definitely has some unique attributes as a weave. Could you not do alternating up and down triangles to form the dome around the head? No, you wouldn't. I don't think you would want to do that. The way the rings are laying wouldn't match up. Or to be bulge like a pumpkin due to the sag of each segment. No, you would have opposing lines of rings is what you would, I'm assuming you would end up with. All right. There are 10 sections, so we got to take apart. Each section is this big. Oh yeah, see, I already screwed up. A couple of rings missing. Pulled out some of the wrong ones. That line is... maybe not. Hang on. Okay. All right. Let's see here. 10 divided by 3 is 9. No, 10 divided by 3 is 3. We have 10 sections. this big, right? Like Pac-Man going on over here. Okay. So in order to think about this correctly, if we want to make 3 juggling balls, that's 3 sections per juggling ball, right? But we're not going to use up this whole... This is a triangle, right? We'll probably cut it here, make another triangle, you know, to make our own little coif starter piece. Let's call it that, because that's kind of how you would start a juggling ball. But I think this is a good start. Okay, 1 section out, not perfect, but you know, whatever. We'll get to deconstructing this and then putting it all back together, and hopefully, I think we should be able to get 3 juggling balls out of this of good size pretty easily. I think that's a far more interesting project than another dice bag, you know. Not that there's nothing wrong with dice bags or anything. I'm just saying, something fun to do, something I can throw at my kid without getting the cops called on me. It's like hitting them with an IV bag. Oh, did I say that out loud? I'm just kidding. I would never hit my kid with an IV bag, but it doesn't leave bruises. Oh man, okay, sorry, child abuse isn't funny. I do love this. We're gonna do something fun with this little bottle here. And I've gotta turn this into some juggling balls somehow. I need another bag. I need a bag. Bag. Okay. That's a very small bag. We'll do this. Use both a small bag and a large bag. Okay, so like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, we are going to be holding a raffle. It's going to include this. Let's see here. This bracelet and all its findings, and 1 hooded blanket from MailleWerX.com. I'm gonna raffle those away, trying to raise some money for a friend of mine. My friend's father, who's in the hospital, and he's been very sick, so it is something I can do to help out a friend. You know, some people that I grew up with. And I would really appreciate if, when I post that stuff, if everyone would share it, right? Show it some love, tell everyone you know, okay? And that's what we're gonna focus on. I'll probably start it tomorrow, and then we'll run it for a week. I think it's probably gonna be good. And I'll just post about it, so whenever you see it, whenever it's convenient, just hopefully I'll have some good pictures for you to share. Get everyone involved that you can. I would really appreciate it. So thank you very much for hanging out. I do appreciate all the likes, comments, and shares that you guys bring. Thank you for being here. Be sure to check out MailleWerX.com for all your chainmail themed apparel and accessory needs. And I will talk to you guys later, if not Friday night, then at the latest Monday. All right?